can't have it both ways. You can't give them all the praise for doing something and then let them off the hook when it turns bad. Sorry, you want to give them all the praise? Give them all the blame.
Me and Mars was actually talking about this yesterday during the panel before we was ending the show, I believe, where in today's NBA, it's kind of like annoying to watch because there's just so many guys just pulling up and just taking a three. Not as many plays being ran like in the 2000s, like the early 2010s. It's just a lot of people just getting it 5-7 seconds down on the clock. We just pulling up a three. You know, it's like come on, bro. We don't have to be.
Look at the game. Look at the game. Jay, you did it right where you broke down. I think it was Phoenix. It was Ayton had Chris Paul posted up, and instead of giving the ball to Ayton in the post,
how did Ayton have Chris Paul posted up?
It was Ayton had Kyrie posted up.
Oh, Kyrie.
And Josh Okogie took over.
Right.
Kyrie underneath
the practice, Dub. It was practice. Yeah, Ayton had. Sorry, I was getting all excited.
Plumlee had Chris Paul too, and Plumlee had Chris Paul underneath the.
And who shot the three though? Here's the worst part: who shot the three when Ayton had Kyrie?
Josh Okogie.
Who, by the way, went over 8 that line. He went over 8 that day. He went over 8 that day on the long ball.
That's not basketball.
It does get OD with it. I would say that. It's kind of annoying sometimes watching them play.
That's why I do have a bit of an issue when people say like players today are way more skilled. I think they're more skilled in terms of shooting, but like there's simple skills like the post game. People don't really have a post game anymore. Throwing entry passes, people don't know how to do that. These are all skills that people have started to lose. So I think they're more skilled in certain areas, but they're also less skilled in other certain fundamentals.
See, it's funny. Mars says that, and he gets applauded. I say that, and I'm
an old head. You're an old head. I'm an old head. OG, the game ain't like that no more. What are you talking about, OG? The game ain't like that no more. I'm like, what are you talking about? The game isn't like that. If I come down 3 straight trips and ticket is on the box, and I don't throw ticket the ball on a simple entry pass, I'm letting you know right now, I'm going to hear it. I'm gonna hear it from him.
I'm happy that Mars is coming to the light, man. Mars. That's what's up.
I've been saying
you validate a lot of this stuff I've been saying. People been getting mad at Fluent, like you said, mad at me. We say this, but when Mars says it, y'all applause.
You gotta say with a British accent. It's the British accent. That's what makes it.
The difference is, no, I can't do it. I'd be insulting your people, so I won't do it. The difference is there's certain, like you said, there's more skilled in certain areas, but they've lost the skills, like you said, in post, but also kind of the fundamentals of basketball. It's I have an open three, so I'm gonna shoot it. Or heck, I'm gonna have a contested three. I'm gonna shoot it because I know threes by the analytics are more efficient than a two. But that's not all that matters. That's not
hold on, Floyd. I know y'all in the comment section bragging about LeBron James hitting a game winner against Juan Toscano, man. Cut it out, man. Juan Toscano, man. Taylor Horton Tucker, bro.
Who picked
you got the big dude.
Who picked the Lakers?
You got the big dude out here looking like the second coming of Akeem Olajuwon. He couldn't even get on the floor for the Lakers. Damian Jones. It's disgusting.
He averaged 3 points. Just so you know, Tick, he averaged 3 a game. That's it.
And man hit 4 threes last night.
LeBron better hit the game winner in overtime because he missed it at the end of regulation.
I had to, and this might sound crazy. I had to go find out who Damian Jones was. I was like, who is this dude?
I remember him in Golden State. Yeah,
I don't remember this dude at all. He got half the championships LeBron got. He a 2-time world champion. Put some respect on his name.
Facts.
So he was on the Warrior teams when they was winning it.
Yes,
he got 2 chips.
I think he got drafted 2016. I think he was drafted in 2016.
Warriors from like 2018 and 2020 had a bunch of they had a lot of people out there in the bench. Not a lot of people know about. What's it called? But the Lakers, man, they about to get that 6th seed after they beat the Clippers, man.
And if y'all don't know, the Lakers play the Clippers tonight. And everything's on the line. I guess the 6 seeds on the line. They're both tied right now for 6th and 7th spot right now. They both are at 41 and 38. Need to know from you guys, who do you think is going to win tonight? And with everything on the line, what does this game mean? Dub, you can continue.
I mean, listen, bro. Right now, it's all for just a little extra rest. Guys going to be playing in the play-in, so that way the Lakers can have some time off. And then they'll get the matchup that they want. I do remember that there were some rumors saying that the Lakers did want to see Sacramento, so then they'll be facing Sacramento in the first round. That's an easy one. One of the easier ones for the Lakers right now compared to everybody else. So, I mean, that's what they want. So I think LeBron and AD is going to bring it tonight. They're going to look to lock that in, and they get a double on the Clippers, man. They locked in for the 6th seed, bro.
The Clippers are coming off like 3 days of rest, whereas the Lakers have a back-to-back, though.
True.
That could be a big deal.
It could be.
I still probably have the Lakers winning. I think it's interesting that they play each other tonight, and then they both have Phoenix in one of their last 2 games. Mm-hmm. So like those 2 games really like decide the season for both of them. To be honest, if like the Clippers win both of them, Lakers in the 7th seed in the play-in. If the Lakers win both of them, the Clippers will be in the play-in. So I do think that's kind of interesting that the schedule panned out that way.
I think the Lakers. Oh, go ahead, Tom.
No. You go ahead.
Ticket. What you got, Ticket?
I think the Lakers should win this game, but I think that Russell Westbrook and the strippers are somehow going to get it done. I think that Russell Westbrook is going to have his moment tonight where he shows the world that, I was disrespected and that these guys, they did me dirty. He's going to be on the big stage tonight. This is the biggest game Russell Westbrook's probably going to have unless he goes deep in the playoffs for the rest of his career. I mean, this is the game where he gets to really stick it to the Lakers because, listen, if the Lakers lose this game and they get the 7th seed, bro, they don't have an easy out. Dallas is not out of this yet. If the Dallas Mavs went out and the OKC Thunder lose a game because they tricked it up and they lost that game last night to the Warriors, Dallas can still get in. Now, think about this. If Russ goes out here and the Clippers get this win tonight against the Lakers and they keep the Lakers in that 7th, the Lakers got to play the Pelicans with Zion in the play-in, and then potentially got to play Dallas with Kyrie and Luka, which a 1-game situation, like a tournament-style game. Anything can happen. So I think that, this has a lot on stake for Russ tonight, man. I believe that Russ going to come with it. I see a 30-point triple-double from Russell Westbrook tonight. I think
that's not a bad. That's not bad. That's not bad.
I'm just telling you. I'm telling you. I think it's going to because listen. I don't think D'Lo's playing. I think that Schroeder is going to overplay Russ. It's going to be a very intense matchup. It's going to be a lot of stuff talked tonight. It's going to be one of them chill town type matchups tonight where guards, he's going to be in people's faces and you're going to see it. It's going to be the same way it was when he left KD because he had real vitriol, but he got more vitriol from those Lakers fans and from all of this stuff that you've seen that's transpired over the last year and a half where this has all been put on Russ. I think all those frustrations are going to come out tonight in him. I think you're going to see if him and LeBron and these guys really had beef or not. You're going to see about how they interact on the court.
So the Clippers are going to clip, which means Russ is going to try to do too much. Instead of 30 points, triple-double, he's probably going to have 30 turnovers because he's going to try and do too many things. Probably go like 0 for 10 from 3. And the Clippers are going to lose this game because that's what the Clippers do. I don't care who they put into the uniform. The Clippers still going to clip. I do want to go back quickly for a second. This is for you, Ticket. This is my gift to you today. I don't know who the player was you said has two chips, so half as many as LeBron.
Damian Jones. Okay, let me give you another warrior for you. This is for you, Ticket. Patrick McCaw has 3. Since we don't count the bubble, the same as LeBron, but he also has a 3-peat, which LeBron could never do. That's for you, Ticket.
Facts. I forgot all about him, too. And I've just seen he's in the G League now, right? He's in the G League right now.
He got 3 rings, though. It don't matter.
Yeah, I do.
He's in a conversation with Kobe, with Shaq, with MJ, with Scotty. Hey, that's greatness. That's greatness right there, bro. On 2 different teams. Two different
teams. That shows that he was the formula. He left Golden State and then Toronto beat them the next year.
That veteran experience he had, bro.
Exactly.
Chill's head's gonna explode.
Yeah, I want to hear what Chilltown. I want to hear Chilltown's thoughts on this because this is chill type of game. This feels like to me Russell Westbrook will have that Chilltown mentality in the game tonight. Chill when he played, he was a real hothead. So,
two things. Number one, who would you rather fight? Would you rather fight somebody who's been sitting around or somebody who just got finished kicking somebody else's ass? I'd rather fight the dude who's been sitting around because the dude who just got off of beating up somebody, he gonna whoop you too. That's number one. Number two, the Lakers have not beaten the Clippers since they won the NBA championship 3 years ago. It's the last time they beat the Clippers. So, with that being said, this Clipper unit with LeBron, this Clipper unit with Russell Westbrook, with how they treated him in Los Angeles. I can't go off this enough. How they treated him with the Los Angeles Lakers, him fitting in with Ty Lue, letting him basically be Russ. And he's going to let him be Russ tonight. And not only is he going to let Russ be Russ tonight, he's going to let Russ be Russ tonight, not just as a basketball player, but Russ, bring that bravado that you used to have, right? So not just bring that bravado that you used to have, bring that energy that you used to have. You're going to see Russ be more aggressive than he's been in the past. The reason why he's going to be more aggressive, because Ty Lue's going to turn him loose. And he's not just going to turn him loose for a short period of time. He's going to turn him loose for stretches, right? And turning him loose for stretches, that could be really good for the Clippers. I like the Clippers. I like the Clippers. I like their chances in this game. But don't think for one second that it's not going to be. I mean, again, we talking about the Clippers and the Lakers. So don't think for one second that we're not looking at some real action, because it's going to be some fireworks. Russell Westbrook,
no, they're going to let Russ loose. Oh no!
First of all, Tone, why are you talking about Russell Westbrook like he's not been really good for the Clippers? It's not like he's been trash for them. He's been really good for the Clippers.
Yeah,
and
not
only has he been good for the Clippers, again, playing against that Laker team that Darvin Ham basically talked him into coming off the bench, which Russ knew he was a starter. I'm still a starter in this league, but I'm going to come off the bench for the betterment of the team. And I'm going to produce, which he did. And then Ty Lue gets with him, and Ty Lue says, yo, here go the ball again. Do your thing. And I'm going to show you dudes that this is where I should have been.
And he have to do that now because Paul George is out, so he has to step up and have better production as far as scoring and stuff like that. So tonight, I think he seizes that opportunity. And listen, the only difference would be this game, I think, comes down to I think this game goes down to the wire tonight. I think this is one of those type of exciting games, just like last night the Lakers were in. I think this goes down to the wire. Somebody's got to close. And I want to see what happens if Russ has the ball in his hands late. If him and Kawhi Leonard can close the deal. Because I think that the Clippers they get locked in when they play the Lakers. For some reason they lock in.
Here's what the Clippers do with Russell Westbrook. What they do is they make Russ the primary ball handler for the majority of the game. But when we get into the meat and potatoes of the game, he's the guy who's bringing the ball up, and then he gets off the ball pretty quickly. He'll get it to Leonard, he'll get it to Paul George, he'll get it to Man, and then they'll park him in the corner. And what they'll do is they'll park him in the corner where he can't be that much of a disruptor. But like when shots go up, Russ becomes more of an offensive rebounder, right? Russ becomes more of a playmaker in that aspect. But they don't give him the ball in the meat and potatoes of the game. They go to Kawhi Leonard and they go to Paul George and they go to guys like Man. So I'm not sure that that's going to change tonight.
Chill, he's going to the post.
I find it so amazing. I find it so amazing how everyone's opinion on Russ has changed. He's statistically doing the exact same thing he was doing for the Lakers. It's still 3.5 turnovers, still actually he's averaging less points a game, but around 15 points a game, 7 assists. He's doing the same stuff. He's still Russ. And what do I know about Russ over the last 3 years, not his career, is when he tries too hard, he fails. When he plays within a system, when he plays controlled, he's better. You think
and that's what your Lakers tried to do to him, Tone, and y'all almost ruined them.
When that's
what your Lakers tried to do, and y'all almost ruined them.
You think you're going to conversation
or crazy? We had a conversation about a year ago that Russ is on his way out the league. And why was he almost on his way out the league? Because your Lakers were ruining him. Why were they ruining him? Because you're trying to turn him into something that he's not.
I don't think it was just because of that. I do think that the supporting cast with Russ was just terrible as well. Like the Lakers were battling injuries for a long time, so he was surrounded by guys that just wasn't up to par.
He was also surrounded by guys who couldn't shoot.
Yeah, that too. So now Russ is on it. The reason why the narrative is shifting a bit is mainly because the team is winning right now. He was on the Lakers. They were losing. They were getting hurt. And because they were losing, he got all this criticism. He's essentially doing the same thing with the Clippers right now. They're just winning some more games with him. So everybody's going to look at him in positive light. It's just winning bias, bro. Like that's what winning bias does. Somebody does the same exact thing on two different scenarios. Just because the team wins, we're going to talk about him
when he first got there. Remember when he first got there and he was doing the same thing and they were losing? Everyone said,
they criticized him. They criticized him.
It's so bad. It's because they're winning. You're absolutely right. It's because they're winning. So watch. Once they lose, it's Russ's fault.
They're going to switch up again. And that's why
fair. but that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's not fair at all. It's such a
interesting
stupid
to
thing.
see. It's going to be interesting to see what Russ does when it's late game, and then they put Anthony Davis on Russell Westbrook and see how he becomes useless down the stretch. It's going to be interesting to see that happen.
You say useless?
Yep, I said useless.
Yep.
Mars, man,
They're going to guard him how Caitlin Clark guarded that player at the top of the league.
That's what's going to happen. They're going to put you're going to put Russell Westbrook in the corner. You're going to put Anthony Davis on him, and then you're going to let Anthony Davis roam around, blow up every single one of the Clippers' actions, stifle their offense, and then Russell have to come out of the game because he'll be unplayable on offense down the stretch. That's what's going to happen.
I cannot be the double. Hey, Ticket. Oh, hold on. Oh my God.
That's why Mars.
That man said useless, bro. Go ahead, Ron. Hey, Ron. This man said useless, Ron. He said useless. And Russell Westbrook.
That's what's gonna happen.
I can't be the double team man. I can't be. I cannot be the double team man. That can't happen. Where you looking at me going, he with us. There's no way that the Clippers, there's no way that the Lakers are looking at Russ going, okay, he's with us. No way Russ is going for that. Because he will at some point he will attack. He's going to do something that's going to be beneficial to the Clippers. Now, don't get me wrong. We all know that Russ is going to throw the ball in the second row. We do know that. We know that Russ is going to shoot the ball off the top of the backboard. We do know he's going to do that. Okay. But we also know Russ is going to make plays for other people too. And Russ is also going to make plays for himself. So when we get into the meat and potatoes of the game where he plays off the ball and they involve him in certain situations, I can see Russ being really productive.
In the clutch? Oh, yes. I'm not gonna lie. I want him far away from the clutch. I might put him on the bench. First
3.5 quarters, play Russell Westbrook. He'll be
games in LA during the clutch. I want him in New York.
Because this is what'll happen. Chill. He'll make a good play in the clutch. He'll get ahead of himself and then do some crazy shit that just doesn't make sense. And it's like, Russ, what are you doing? It is what it is. He's done it too numerous times. So it's like,
I don't like Russ, but y'all hate him. Y'all hate it.
I'm not hating him, Russ. I like it.
No, this is what y'all do. Y'all allow LeBron, Ramon James to make everybody. Y'all allow LeBron to make y'all think all these dudes is trash. And then you get a game like last night where you get Horton Tucker coming out here getting you 25. You get Damian Jones looking like the second coming of Akeem Olajuwon. All these dudes are so now balling when they get away from this guy. But when they with this guy, they all of a sudden they're scrubs. I never heard you guys talk about Russ like this until he played with LeBron. Y'all sad, bro.
No,
that's not true.
He got more publicity in LA. I've been saying he was the same guy in Washington as he was on the Lakers. He's been the exact same guy. None of what happened surprised me. I knew it was going to work. Also, that argument of Taylor Horton Tucker is good without LeBron. The opposite can also be said. Thomas Bryant, people were saying was good when he played with the Lakers. He's on Denver. He can't play because he's trash. No, Dub was saying. Thomas Bryant.
Listen, that's a stupid decision. That was a dumb decision for him to ask to be traded. But
you can barely get PT ahead of DeAndre Jordan. Like that's how bad Thomas Bryant is. But I just think Russell Westbrook is what he is, and I think he can be useful for the first 3.5 quarters. Down the stretch of games, teams are going to put a big on him, and he's going to become useless. And I don't think he can be playable down the stretch.
And I'm not going to lie, Ticket. Me and Mars. I know for a fact, me and Mars never really crucified or criticized Russ the same way as everyone else has. Like a lot of times I'll find myself defending Russ sometimes because I think he got too much hate because I don't think he was as trash as what everyone was painting him out to be. But we just got to be objective about his game. Like in the clutch, I mean, we got to acknowledge that. Like it's not a good fit.
I don't want him. Hold on, Dub. He's not Chris Paul where I want the ball in his hands the entire time. He's not LeBron James. He's not any of these guys where I want the ball in his hands the entire time. However, I do think that Russ could make plays if you limit his opportunities. I think he could make plays in the clutch. I don't want the ball in Russ' hands the entire clutch and making him make plays for everybody. Because like I just said, he's going to throw the ball in the second row. That's going to happen. He's going to shoot the ball off the top of the backboard. That's going to happen. But if you limit him in the clutch, and put him in spaces where he could be productive, he's going to make good plays.
Yeah, but what if they pass him to the corner and he's wide open for a three? What's going to happen? He's going to shoot it and miss it, and everyone's going to be mad at him. It's like,
listen to what you're saying. We know he's going to throw it in the second row. We know he's going to shoot it off the top of the backboard. Okay, so that's why you're not going to play him when it matters. You can't risk that. That's crazy. Is there any other player you would say, I know he's going to throw it in the second row. I know he's going to throw it off the top of the backboard, but he's clutch?
It's plenty of guys, Tone, that we got to live with who they are. And Russ is one of
I've never really a player that you said is going to throw it in the second row, throw it off the top of the backboard, but I'm going to play him in the clutch.
Magic, don't say nothing. Chill, don't say nothing. He dropped that 30 piece on their head tonight. Fluent gonna come back tomorrow.
Tone, you know that. Tone, you know that Magic
Russ is gonna have a good game.
You know that Magic average. You know that.
Okay, fine. There was time.
I just want to make sure we clear. Okay, I just want to make sure that we clear.
Fine. Yo, so if I'm not mistaken, Dub, you chose the Lakers, right?
Yeah, I'm choosing the Lakers. Yeah.
All right. Chill and Ticket both have the Clippers. Fluent and Mars, I need your prediction. Fluent, an unbiased prediction tonight. Who's gonna win?
Here we go.
With the 6th seed on the line, who comes through?
Take that fan hat off, Tone. Take that fan hat off.
Clipper's gonna clip. The Clippers gonna clip, and Russ is gonna try too hard. The Lakers, and it won't be close. It ain't going overtime.
Say it, Fluent. Try hard.
Yeah, they try hard. He'll try hard. Russ will try hard. Shout out, Justin.
Mars, before you go, the dynamic of how things have switched up. Now, Dub and Fluent are kind of buddy-buddy. Mars and Ticket are coming around. This is crazy.
I don't like it. I told you already, Ron. I do not like this. I already said it. I'm starting a rumor. Okay, I ain't gonna say nothing. Watch. That's all I'm saying. I'm not gonna say nothing. Just watch.
No, why can't we just have a little phase?
I don't want to hear it, y'all.
Listen, you know the madness. You know the madness is gonna come. The madness is gonna come later.
You don't think Superman and Lex Luthor could have dinner together? We just chilling.
No.
Superman and Lex Luthor were helping each other out for a while, but then
see, there you go.
Again. You know, you just gotta wait on it.
Lex Luthor wanted Superman dead. That was a process.
They were buddy for a while,
right? And the reason why he was getting close to Superman because he was trying to kill him. That was the plan.
No, that wasn't what happened.
Is that what you doing, Dub?
No.
Yes.
He don't know the comics like that. Nah, they were actually helping each other out for a while. They were good friends.
Get a common enemy, maybe.
Yeah, and then Darkseid messed things up for him.
There you go. Enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah, so maybe Tick is gonna mess everything up for everybody. We'll see.
Show that so good.
Or maybe Chilltown's Darkseid. He just undercover. He just undercover Darkseid.
Hey, Dub, you a legend, bro. You a legend in this thing, man.
Nah, that's you, bro. That's all you.
Yo, Mars, I need that prediction. Who you got tonight? The Lakers or the Clippers?
The Clippers are the NBA equivalent of Tottenham. If you know football, you know what I'm getting at. The Clippers are the NBA equivalent of Tottenham. They're always just going to find a way to fail. They will never win. And that's why I got the Lakers win.
Clippers going to clip.
All right, no doubt. I'm going to go ahead and move into these super chats. We will get on Joel Embiid, his major game last night, and how they finally got over the hump with the Celtics. Well, we'll talk about that. But
like I predicted.
Let's get into these super chats. Christopher D said, people are quoting things Shaq said from y'all interview and not giving y'all credit. Give PC and Fluent and Chill their props.
MCs, you're jocking my style. You're jocking my style, boy. You're jocking my style.
It's crazy out here. You assist with the super chat. Is there an argument for the West being better than the East from top to bottom? I think the East is just top heavy. How we feel about this, fellas?
No, you are what you are.
Is there a case?
It depends how you feel about because
you are what you are, bro.
The teams
is trash, bro. Listen, you are what you are. You are what your records say you are, bro. And that's just the truth.
You can make it. I wouldn't make this case, but you could make a case that the West is because they're all beating each other, and that's why their records aren't as good. Right. And from 1 to 8. They're so close because they're better than the East, which is probably the top 4, and then there's a little bit of a gap between the next 4, and that's why the top 4 have better records. So yeah, you can make that case. I'm not making it, but you could.
When's the? Go ahead. I'm sorry, Mars.
I think the only reason people would say that is because let's say the West was flipped. You had the Lakers the 1 seed, the Clippers is the 2 seed, the Warriors is the 3 seed, Phoenix is the 4 seed, and you had Denver, Memphis, and Sacramento is the 6, 7, 8. People wouldn't say that, but because the teams at the bottom of the West, like play-in spots, are the experienced championship level like teams that you expect, like Kawhi's a champion, LeBron, AD, Steph Curry, etc. Because they have that championship experience, people think those teams are better than their record is because they've shown it in the playoffs. Whereas teams like Sacramento and Memphis and Denver haven't proved anything in the playoffs, but they're the high seeds. So it makes the West look like it has more championship caliber teams than it really does.
Facts. They don't have it. They don't have it, bro.
I think.
Hold on. Pause right there for a second. So you're saying that Golden State and like the Lakers have no shot of
No, none of them teams. None of those teams in the West.
Golden State have
none of those teams in the West.
The
None of those
Lakers
teams.
are starting
no shot.
None of those teams in the West can beat the top teams in the East. None of those teams. You name all those teams right now, they ain't beating the top 2 teams in the East.
So you're telling me Golden State,
and it's a question. It's a question if they can beat Philly.
And
it's a question if they can beat Philly.
Huh? Whoever comes out of the East wins the title.
So wait. So you think if Golden State healthy is playing Boston in the finals again?
Boston beats their ass this year.
Boston in 6.
Milwaukee smokes them. I don't think Milwaukee
might. No. But Boston has made upgrades on that roster. Now I still don't think that they can beat Milwaukee in a 7-game series. I think Dub and Mars here is capped when they think that. But I think that none of those teams in the West can beat the top 2 teams in the East. And I'm starting to suspect that it would be a 7-game series if they played the 76ers. I think that would be a 7-game series.
So you think, hold on, I just want to be clear. So you think you're fraudulent, like you call them, you're fraudulent Celtics with a bad coach that will get out-coached can beat every team in the West?
No, but I don't think only team I don't think he can beat is the Greek Freak in them in the Bucks. That's the only team I look at when I think about the Celtics. That's who I'm. When I say that I don't like that, that's the team I look at that I say they're going to get wiped out by. And I'm talking about the Celtics. Celtics get wiped off the map by the Milwaukee Bucks.
But no one in the West.
Every other team they beat.
Whoever comes out the West is losing. If it's Phoenix, if it's Denver, if it's Golden State, if it's the Lakers, whoever comes out the West is losing in the finals. It's like the early 2000s.
Then I'm putting all my money on the West. Because I can't buy that logic.
Hey, Milwaukee's just too strong, bro. I'm sorry, man. I haven't seen that machine they got over there, bro. That thing was built perfectly, bro. Perfectly, that machine they built over there. And they've given the blueprint. While we haven't talked about them, while we gave more attention to Embiid, dropping 52 on teams that don't have their second best player, who you going to praise later on.
I will.
That was a bad pick you made. I mean, that was a good pick, but it was a good casino pick you picked. But it was bull jab because you won a 2-point game. A guy had to drop 50 to get that to win a 2-point game. So that's bogus. But like I said before, man, the Bucks, man, bro, we got to give them more credit, man. We got to give their organization more credit for how they built the team, how they have stuck with it through the hard times. They just kept chipping away. They didn't panic and trade Giannis like they was told to a few years ago. They didn't panic and trade Middleton. They kind of just stuck with it, man. And now look, now you at a situation where, to me, I just don't see any team that could beat them 4 times in 7 games.
What you got, Dub?
My main thing when we're comparing like the East versus West, I think the chip is going to the East as well. But my whole thing when in terms of like how they compare to one another, like people not taking into account that the West has been battling through injuries far more than the Eastern Conference, right? The Lakers with AD and LeBron being hurt, the Pelicans with Zion being hurt, the Warriors with Steph missing some time, and then Andrew Wiggins missing some time, the Clippers with Kawhi and load management, and then PG being out, the Suns with KD being out. So I get it where, the Bucks, Celtics, and Sixers and Cavs, like they're great, but the reason why the Western Conference isn't as great as we thought it was going to be is because a lot of these guys has been hurt. A lot of these guys has been battling injuries throughout the whole season. So that's the way I look at it.
Which is fair. But with all of that being said, if I would have told you yesterday, there's only one team before today, it's only one team in the Western Conference with 50 wins. How would that shake you?
You said before yesterday?
Before yesterday, there's only one team in the Western Conference with 50 wins. Now, this is the same conference where 10 years ago, 50 wins get you the 8th spot. Now we in a spot where it's only one team that's got 50 wins, and that's the first place.
You overrating teams. That's why KD is older. He doesn't have the same effect on winning like he used to have. The Lakers ain't played nobody, but Fluence over here with his pom poms on, running around here acting like he having a goddamn parade. They haven't played it. They played the weakest schedule since the All-Star break. Then you got these other teams.
Ticket. We're not going to do that. That's not their fault. Okay.
No. I'm not saying it's their fault. All I'm saying is.
Who's in front of you?
You can't praise them beating teams they supposed to beat the hell out of, bro. You've been playing the Rockets. You've been playing the Orlando Magic. You've been playing scrubs, bro. So now tonight we're gonna see when you play these 2 big dogs, we're gonna see. So if they get their ass kicked by the Clippers and they get their ass kicked by the Suns, I don't want to hear Fluent coming in here no more talking that candy shit.
Didn't you praise the
with.
Bucks on their 16-game winning
It's over with. No, I praised the Bucks when they smoked the 76ers. And you guys didn't come in here and put the proper respect on Giannis's name after you wiped Joel Embiid off the map. Y'all didn't put that respect on his name.
Spoke about that game. Right. But I also think that what we taking out.
I hear your point. I heard your point, Flo. I mean, chill.
So what?
No. Go ahead. I just say I heard your first point.
Well, I just want to look at what the Eastern Conference. The Eastern Conference has gotten better, and the reason why the Eastern Conference has gotten better is because the players. So, for example, if you look at Philadelphia, well, now you got a whole season with Joel Embiid and James Harden, right? Middleton is now healthy. Drew Holiday has basically been healthy. If you look at that Boston Celtic team, they upgraded that roster. The Knicks have gotten better with the roster that they had.
The Cavs have gotten better. Hold on, stay right there. The Cavs, they can give the Lakers a run for their money. The Cavs can give Denver a run for their money. The Cavs can beat the Sacramento Kings in a 7-game series.
The Cavs have gotten better. So,
you can look, Fluent. You can look down. You can look to the side. You can look at your toilet. You can do whatever the hell you want to do. I'm telling you the facts. The Cleveland Cavaliers can give most of them damn teams in the West. They can get a Phoenix Suns a run for their money. It ain't gonna be no 4 and out, 5 and out. No, that's a hard 6-7 game series.
It is. It is. And to counter Dub's point, like the teams in the Eastern Conference, not only have they gotten better, they're playing better just as units. Now, you couple what happened with the Western Conference with teams getting injured, and then you couple that with what's going on in the East with teams getting better and playing better. Well, you got a better conference in the Eastern Conference. Of course you do.
Yeah. I wouldn't disagree that the East is better. My whole thing is like just to contextualize it a bit, where the reason the West isn't as good as we thought it was going to be or expected is because a lot of these guys just been getting the short end of the stick with injury, right? The Lakers record could have been better if they've been healthy. The Pelicans, I think, were first or second, but then Zion and the boys was getting hurt, you know. And Brandon Ingram. So they've been facing a lot of injuries. The Suns losing KD, their record could have been better. So it's like that's the way I look at it. I think the gap East could still have been better, but the gap wouldn't have been as far as everyone thinks.
And I could say the same. And I could say the same thing with Brooklyn. So let's say Brooklyn doesn't trade Kyrie Irving and KD. I mean, they still at the top of the Eastern Conference. So them still being at the top of the Eastern Conference with Philadelphia, with Milwaukee, with Boston. So we might be having a different conversation about them too.
I wish that trade never happened.
We're going to go ahead and move on. What I do want to do sometime later this week or early next week, I want to just go ahead and do a power rankings headed into the playoffs. Yep. And through that, we'll be able to see which coast has the better teams. I think that'd be an easy way to decipher it. But moving along, Ken 10 said, anyone on the panel play chess? Fun game for real.
I will cook you. You can't have me. I will cook you.
My good friend, Dr. Puri, won the Canadian championships in chess, so I defer everything to him. Shout out, Vinny.
He's a Canadian?
Yes, sir.
I don't play chess.
He's a great surgeon and chess player. He's
not on the chessboard. I don't, but I do play chess.
I'm the only nerd up here.
Doug, yep. I'll let you have it in chess. Yo, chat, don't at me. It just happened that way. Next super chat, Alan R said, nothing more stressful than watching the Lakers.
They could be a mess sometimes, yo. Because watching them last night,
watching Russell Westbrook play.
Hey, they could be a mess sometimes. Tone, they was up 10 points with 1:24. Game should have been over. Game should have been over last night, right?
Kelly Olynyk.
I saw Kelly Olynyk banking that free. I was like,
all good television.
Kelly Olynyk banks in a 3. Dunn goes to the bucket, unmolested, no rim protection whatsoever. Now all of a sudden we got a game.
Whoa!
No rim protection. Goes to the basket.
Good Canadian kid.
Chris Dunn gets to the basket. Nobody bothering him, right? Now all of a sudden we got a ball game again.
You mean KD? You mean KD? Right, Dub? Because we can use different nicknames for other players. That's KD. Call him KD from now on.
Shut up.
No.
Yeah, that's KD.
Yeah, but the Lakers last night, yes. I'm watching this and I'm thinking to myself, are you dudes going to spit this? There's no way you guys are going to lose this game. Give me a break, man. Give me a break.
Unmolested is why.
You've never heard that before?
No,
I've heard it before, but not for basketball.
Dub definitely didn't grow up unmolested. No.
Anyway,
that's such a dad joke. Like that's such a weird dad joke.
As you were saying, Ron. I'm sorry. As you were saying, Ron.
Christopher D with another super chat. He said, "I really want the."
I never see somebody laugh so hard at their own joke, bro. That's crazy.
I might have to mute myself.
I really want the Clippers versus Suns matchup, but the Warriors versus Suns ain't bad either. I've wanted Russ versus KD in the playoffs since 2017. So who would you guys rather see? Russ versus KD or Steph versus KD?
I mean, Russ isn't the same guy. It's not the same. It's like you got.
It would probably have more. It would probably have more gravity if it was like the next year after KD got traded. Yeah, it would probably be a bigger deal. But I mean, we talking that happened 6 years ago, man. I mean, as opposed to, you know, the Warriors just won the NBA championship, and now KD got on the Suns to win the NBA championship. And if they bounce them, ugh.
Yeah, Steph and KD. I'd love to see that.
KD wins in 5, but yeah.
Mars, what is the story with this? And I'm not gonna.
The Warriors are trash.
I'm not in your autograph fan book. Why do you hate the Warriors all the time?
I don't hate that. I try to be as unbiased as possible, and the Warriors aren't good, so I'm not gonna act like they are good just for the sake of talking about the Warriors. They're not good, so why would I believe in that?
What do you say?
Yeah, but you hate the Warriors so much now you became a Rockets fan. Like, there's something wrong.
Hey, we won yesterday. Cooks
We
that fraud
won.
Jokic. Cooks that fraud Jokic. So I mean, let's not disrespect the Rockets.
Lonnie Williams wants you to break down the Rockets Nuggets game.
Oh yeah. You want me to do that? Jokic is a fraud. Sengun is better. Jalen Green was living at the rim because Jokic has no rim protection. We was playing on Jokic's lack of ability.
Dub, what are we doing right now, Dub?
Wow.
What's happening right now? What are we doing?
I'm not lying.
Right now?
Jokic came out the gate with 8 early points, and then he realized he needed to get his triple-double average. Started trying to pass the ball. We were on all of those passes, pouncing on those passes. His hand was moving loose. We were stripping him.
He was too worried about not getting fouled.
So
getting easy buckets in transition.
Is a stat padding.
Jokic for sure stat pads. I don't think I've ever denied that. Jokic for sure stat pads. He's also no longer my MVP. That's Embiid. Congratulations, Embiid. But yeah, we cooked Jokic. I don't think this loss means the Denver Nuggets are frauds. I don't think that. I still think they're this best or second best team in the West.
Are we ready to call Jokic and the Nuggets frauds?
No, because we weren't calling them champions when they beat Milwaukee and blew them out. So one game isn't going to do that. I do think that it was a bad game for Jokic. First game back from the calf injury. He played terribly, but that's what Houston will do. We're just better than them. So.
Is anybody ready to call Jokic and the Nuggets frauds?
I will.
Well, I've said it. I've said it the whole season, bro. I never believed in them at all.
I don't believe in them to win a title. I wouldn't call them frauds though, because I didn't have much expectation.
The defense isn't there. They're a fraud to Low. Low overrates them, bro. He overrates Jokic a bit, but that's neither here or there. If Low's up here, then I'll say he's a fraud. But
Sun's coming out the West. That's what I'm asking.
Jokic, man. That defense ain't it for me, man.
Lakers in 6.
I would like to say Joel Embiid. I said a couple weeks ago.
We're getting to that.
Oh, my bad.
Well, Dub, I'm gonna let you go ahead and get into your whole monologue about Joel Embiid. We're gonna go ahead and do this right now. We've seen what happened last night. Joel Embiid went ballistic, 52 and 13 rebounds. They finally, the Sixers that is, finally beat the Celtics. They were 0-3 on the season. They finally got a dub last night. Even though Jaylen Brown was out, and Gideon Adai said not moved by the 76ers win. No JB or Rob, won only by 2 points. But I do want to talk about what this means for the Sixers. And then I do want to talk about what this means for the MVP race.
So, yeah, Joel Embiid, bro, you got to applaud this man and give a standing ovation, bro. Like, this guy, in the last month and a half, he has put on a tremendous case to be the MVP. When they switched up the rankings and put him as the front runner, I said it kind of was a pity MVP. But Joel Embiid, bro, he just proved everybody wrong. He's been playing phenomenal, dominating. He just scored 50, bro. I mean, if he wins MVP, I don't want to hear anybody say that that's a pity MVP. He 100% deserved it with this run he's been on for the last month and a half, bro. It's crazy.
I just want to real quick. I don't want to take up too much time. And the idea that the MVP race is over, I think that that's not true. Because are we going to act like not 2 nights ago, Giannis just put 34 and 15 on him? Are we going to forget about that? He went 31 and 14 on him 2 nights ago, and they smoked Philly. But now all of a sudden he goes for 52 against the Boston Celtics, who Ticket brought up a really good point about their coaching. He goes for 52 against the Boston Celtics, who they got Grant Williams at the free throw line against Joel Embiid, and they're just going to leave him there. No double. They're not going to get the ball out of his hands. They're just going to leave him there. So, Dub, this might be a little bit before your time. What that is, that's Hakeem Olajuwon and Clarence Witherspoon at the free throw line going one-on-one. And we're just going to leave them there. No, that's terrible coaching.
I got to pick out Clarence Witherspoon.
How about we get the ball out of Joel Embiid's hands and make him an unwilling passer, make him an unwilling playmaker. But instead, no, Grant Williams and Joel Embiid, you can handle him. That was a terrible idea. I'm not going to take away from what Joel Embiid did as a player yesterday, because that's what's going to have to happen for these dudes to move forward. He's going to have to be that good. I think Boston smokes these dudes in 5 games in the playoffs.
Wow.
Well, yeah, I think the Boston loses to them. I mean, not Boston. I think Sixers lose to the Boston as well. It's just in terms of MVP though, is like I think Embiid is just phenomenal. I think it's over Giannis, especially when you say you said that in order for a guy to win an MVP again, they got to top what they did in like seasons before, right? That's what you said, Chilltown?
I did say that, yes.
So it's like Giannis.
Well, not necessarily top it, but it has to be either close to it or a little bit ahead of it. It doesn't have to be miles ahead of it, but it has to be a little bit over it.
So, yeah, so I think it's kind of hard, like if we're going off that way of thinking, it's kind of hard for Giannis to win an MVP this year.
That's not true.
Last season, going
above and beyond. That's not true.
Last season, he had a better year.
No. That's not true. This season, he's missed Middleton half the time.
No.
Bobby Portis was out for 15 of those 16 games when they went on a 16-game winning streak. He was a leader for 6th man of the year at that time. He missed all those games when they went on when they took the first place in the West, in the East, and he went and he took over. Then Drew Holiday, he's made him back into an all-star. He hadn't been an all-star in 11 years. He turned him back into an all-star this year. Then he's leading the league. I think he's averaging more points this year, right on the same par with the rebounding and right on the same par with the assists. And he's top 5 in efficiency, top 5 in defense.
But he's worse efficiency-wise compared to himself, like for his whole.
No, but he's got his but his team is the best team in the world. They weren't last year.
But oh my God. When we're comparing it to himself, though, this is the worst efficiency-wise. This is the worst he's been since like 2020, 2019.
But hold on. But what does that mean when you miss your other guys?
I'm just saying, like, when we're talking about him being better than himself, those factors needs to be included. And then like he didn't make Drew Holiday an MVP.
Yes, he did.
Drew Holiday,
he did. Yes, he did, bro.
All-star.
Won't nobody else make a Drew Holiday an all-star?
Drew Holiday's been an all-star caliber player.
Who else made Drew Holiday an all-star? Drew Holiday ain't been an all-star in 11 years. Who else made him an all-star?
This is
Drew Holiday been playing basketball all these damn years. He been playing basketball all these years. He been playing with AD. He been playing all these years. He ain't nobody else make him an all-star except for Giannis, bro. Cut it out.
Okay. So this is what happened. He was in the West. He was never going to make the all-star team in the West. Then he joined the Bucks, and Chris Middleton was there. So the Bucks were going to have 2 all-stars. They opted to give it to Chris Middleton. This year, Chris Middleton wasn't there. The Bucks were still the best team in the East, so they were going to give the Bucks 2 all-stars. Drew Holiday had to be the second all-star since Chris Middleton was there.
Drew
Holiday has been an all-star caliber player.
Why didn't give it to Aaron Gordon in the East? And he was on the West. He was on the best team with Denver, and most of the people I don't think he should have made it.
Drew Holiday and Aaron Gordon are levels apart in terms of players. Drew Holiday's been an all-star caliber player for the last.
All right, man.
Holiday scored.
Y'all some haters, bro. Y'all some haters, bro.
How am I hating for saying Drew Holiday?
Just admit y'all hate on Giannis, bro. Just admit it.
I'm not hating on Giannis by saying Drew Holiday's been all-star caliber.
I'm talking about that. I'm talking about when y'all saying that, his level ain't this, man. Cut it out, man. The dude got the best team in the world, bro. When you got the best team in the world, your second best player has been out. When he came back, he was on the bench for most of the time. He ain't been the same. He's averaging one of the career worst. Then you have Holiday, who's not a great offensive player, but he's been better offensively this year as far as his percentages and things like that than he's been in the past. He's still been stout defensively. And then not only that, when you went on a 16-game winning streak, the guy who was 6th man of the year, Bobby Portis, averaging 14 and around almost 10 rebounds. He missed all of those games. And you won 16 in a row and took over the league, walked down the Celtics to take over because the Celtics started out hotter than anybody this season. Giannis walked them dudes down, bro. Cut it out, man.
All right, so first of all, Drew
Holiday
Holiday
was like, wasn't Holiday like 21, 8, and 5 his second last year in New Orleans? Like if you're talking about
Yes.
numbers,
he's been all-star
he's
caliber
been
since
25 and 7 for the past 5-6 years. It's not his offensive
He was
game.
just in the West, so he didn't
dominated
in the West. There was
dominated game in that series when they swept them. He averaged
That's why I
27
hate
games
the
in that
all-star
series.
argument, because there's James Harden's all-star caliber. He didn't make it this year. I'm not gonna say Embiid is doing this without an all-star teammate. We know what James.
So hold on,
Like,
Floyd. Giannis ain't the MVP in your mind?
In my mind, Giannis is the best player in basketball. But I've said a million times, the narrative and his play is going to be Embiid. I've said that all season long because he was runner-up 2 years in a row, and he's playing at an MVP caliber level. So with that narrative and his play, and since he's been, to Dove's point, since he's been elevated to that first leader in the MVP race, he has played even better.
I'm saying if you had a media, you had a vote.
I would vote for Giannis because I don't have a narrative. Yeah.
I just don't like the idea that it's not close either way. If you think it's Giannis, that's fine. I'm not going to argue with you because I think it's close. If you think it's Embiid, I'm not gonna,
close.
If you think it's Embiid, I'm not going to argue because I think it's close.
I'm saying it's close. And then what happened? He smoked Embiid 1-on-1, smoked him.
Jokic smoked Giannis.
That's not the deciding factor.
Jokic smoked Giannis. So it's
So if that's not the deciding factor, then hold on a second. So why is that not the deciding factor? But last night was.
Last night's not the deciding factor either.
According to everybody else, it is.
I disagree.
The MVP race is over. That's all.
I just want to know if Giannis gets praised because he smoked Embiid a few days ago. Jokic smoked Giannis. I'm not saying Jokic is MVP because of that game. I think
no.
Embiid smoked Giannis. Yeah,
exactly. The reason why I discount Jokic is because Jokic's team have fell off since this whole MVP thing came up, and we all brought it to the forefront. And Perk and them started talking about it on TV. The Nuggets haven't been the same. They've been a 500 team since then. They've been getting beat by bad teams.
They have a weak mental, and they don't deserve anything.
I agree with you. So let's say it was between Embiid and Giannis. Embiid. It was that close to where when you play, he smoked them. It wasn't even a close game. He destroyed them dudes. So that to me, that end of story. Case closed. Adios. Hasta la vista. Sayonara.
So you're telling me if I go back, I don't have this top of mind. I'm sure Chill probably does. So I don't have it top of mind. But you're telling me if I go back and look at every single MVP, every single one, every single year, they never got smoked by the runner-up?
No, you're not hearing what I'm saying. I'm saying the race was so close.
Head-to-head matchup doesn't matter.
I agree with your statement. I'm just saying the race was so close. When they lock up like that at the end of the season, that has to mean something.
It doesn't.
That's why it
doesn't. It's a season award. It's not a game award.
That's why Joker is now separated, because him missing these last 3 games, and then yesterday what happened with them getting smoked by Houston. I think now that he's become even further, because I thought Joker was I had Giannis before the season started, but then I had Joker winning it. But then those last 3 games that he missed and what happened yesterday, I think there's now been some separation between him and those other guys.
So yeah, separation could be like towards the end of the season, right? Which is why I started off with that point. Joel, the reason he's an MVP is not because Boston, he just dropped 50.
No.
That was a cherry on top. The man for the last month and a half has been going bonkers, 30 balls, 40 balls, 50 balls. And it's crazy what he's been doing. He even faced Milwaukee Bucks in March 4th. They won that, and he had a great game. He had 30 and 10. Yep. So we just can't discount everything.
So you think Embiid's MVP?
Hold on a second.
So the whole thing is, just to bring it as a singular game in a singular moment. No, that's not true.
No, I'm saying no. So you think Embiid's the MVP?
I think Embiid's the MVP, yes.
Y'all do sad. That's all I'm gonna say, man.
I want to hear everybody's MVP predictions as of right now.
Can we first say the only person who picked the Sixers to win last night?
I picked them too.
No. What?
Yes.
Hey, but you didn't know that. You didn't know. Hold on. You made that pick. You made that pick, and y'all didn't. And we didn't know that. Old boy wasn't gonna play.
Hey, no Jaylen Brown. Tatum's a clown. All right, he can't win without Brown.
I'm never gonna pick against my 6.
They got a winning record with Jaylen Brown out the lineup. And just so you know, his last 5 games, just so you know, Jason Tatum is
2 for 8 from 3, 19.
Yeah, that was last night. 35. Just so you know, 35-9 his last 5 games.
He didn't show up.
He had no effect on that game last night. He didn't have any effect. He didn't have any effect on that game last night. Chilltail.
Inconsistent Tatum shows his head again.
What do you mean inconsistent?
He can't go for 19 when Brown's out. He can't.
He didn't have a good game. He didn't have a, but he did have an effect on that game last night. So okay, sure, he wasn't scoring the basketball, but the last time they played them, I think he went for 21, and they still beat them.
Last night.
All right, Floyd, you're doing what Ticket's doing. Like, come on.
That's what he's doing. That's exactly what he's doing. That's exactly what he's doing.
Come on.
Anyway, Ron, I'm sorry because we're getting off the subject here. You what was the question that you asked, Ron?
MVPs as of right now. Who do you guys have?
I had Giannis to pick the season. I had Giannis to start the season. I'm sticking with Giannis.
Got you. Mars, are you still on the Jokic train?
Oh, no. Get out here, Jokic. Embiid's going to win it. Embiid deserves to win it. So congratulations to Embiid for his first MVP.
Floyd?
MVP, Joel Embiid.
No, you just say, hold on, time out. You just say you voted for Giannis. Hold on.
No, who's going to win? Embiid.
He said there's a difference between who's going to win and who he thinks should win.
Yeah, who's going to win is Embiid.
Embiid is going to win the MVP.
Man, y'all sad. Y'all sad, man. I can't, bro, man.
I agree with you, Ticket. We're up here with a bunch of sad fellas.
If someone gives me a vote,
I'm being honest with y'all, bro. I'm being honest with y'all, bro. This is disgraceful, man. It's disgraceful what they doing to this man, bro. It is, bro. It's highway robbery, bro. They don't want the man to be great, bro. They don't want him to be great, man. They don't want to give the man his acknowledgement, bro.
I hear you, bro.
Giannis is like unanimously the best player in the world to most
Oh my
people.
God! Why is it that somebody has to win an MVP in order to validate them?
Man.
Everybody knows how good Giannis is.
Like you ask 80% of the basketball community, they all say Giannis is the best in the world. I don't know how much more validation you want.
There's so many people that have.
According to you guys,
if you just stop caring about the accolades so much, this wouldn't matter.
Nah, but we got to make history.
According to all of us, he's the best player in the NBA, and most people would agree. And according to you guys, they're going to come out of the East and no one in the West has a chance. So he's not only going to be the best player in the league, maybe second in MVP voting, he's also going to win another chip. What more do you want?
Man, we got to make history right, bro. Y'all, man, we got to make history right.
They still call the Bucks the favorites off of the strength of Giannis alone. He gets as much love. Like he gets tons of love, despite Middleton being hurt. And not being
this is legacy stuff, though. This is legacy stuff, man.
That's what, and
this
that's
is legacy stuff, bro. It is, man.
And that's the issue, and that's the problem.
You can't trust the MVP because this year the fans have a vote, so you don't. You can't just go by who wins MVPs.
That's a small. That's a small. That's a small.
It shouldn't be.
Stop putting so much stock. Stop putting so much stock in MVPs, bro. Like somebody could be so close. MVP level,
fan vote might make a difference.
And MVP doesn't validate that guy in the season which they had, bro. And Joel Embiid, him winning MVP doesn't mean that he's better than Giannis.
Time out. Ticket. Kobe Bryant's one of the greatest of all time, right? Top 5 all time, right? Only has one MVP. Yeah. MVPs don't matter.
Yeah, no. They just count that. Hold on. Fluent. They use it against him.
I agree with
you. Use it against him, Fluent. They use it against him.
I think the people who use the one MVP against Shaq and Kobe are I think they're really dumb, respectfully. I think that's a dumb take to have. I think that's a dumb take to have.
But okay, even if that's true, what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to invalidate a guy who won the league MVP. I'm not going to do that.
I want to make it clear.
I'm not going to do it because that's exactly what you're doing, Tom.
Winning the MVP is a big deal.
It is. So don't tell me that it doesn't matter. Don't tell me that.
Congratulate the person who wins.
I'm not taking away from the winner. I'm also not taking away from the loser. In what was it, 97, 98, when Karl Malone won and Jordan was second? Did we take away from Jordan?
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't. We still got to.
And we didn't do the same thing next year neither. When Jordan won it, we didn't take away from Malone.
In 91, when Magic was second, coming off of winning it the year before, we didn't say Magic was trash. No, he was second. He's still an MVP caliber player.
The difference is that no, Tone. That's not going to work because what we're listening to is when they lose, now Magic is washed. They forget that part.
But those people who don't know basketball.
Yeah, but once again, those are the idiots.
Those are the idiots, respectfully.
A bit less respectfully to those guys. A bit less respectfully.
That's fair. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to invalidate a guy who won the league MVP because league MVPs do matter. They're not insignificant.
You misunderstood.
They do matter.
No, I agree. I think it's an
I'm not taking away from the winner, but I'm also not completely taking away from the loser.
It's an important accolade to have. Like everyone who has an MVP, there's no bad player who's ever won an MVP. Shout out to everyone who's won an MVP. They're usually
don't do that.
Don't disrespect Bill Walton. I know you want to disrespect Bill Walton.
Don't do that.
How many games? Come on.
He was still a very good player. Whether or not he deserved it, he was still a very good player.
You can't win the MVP when you play half of the season. Sorry.
I agree. I don't think he deserved it, but he was still a great player. But the issue
that man had most of his guys, and he can't even get the first seed in the East or the top 2 seeds. He had most of his guys during the season, but he the MVP. Make it the hell out of here.
Chill. Let me break it down to you like this, right?
Makes a player better because they won it.
Let me break it down to you like this. Like we was doing the panelists for the month, right?
Right.
So let's say Ticket got voted for panelist of the month, right? And you came in second or third. In your mind frame, everyone's going to think, Chilltown's still that dude. He's still one of those guys. He's still one of the best panelists up here, right? Just Ticket won it this time. Then the next month, maybe Chilltown will win it next month. You feel me? So even though somebody wins an MVP, it's fine. They get love and praise for having the season which they had.
Right.
But don't take away from the guy where he came in second or came in third, or a guy who was playing at an MVP level, because we know how great those guys are. That's all that we're trying to say up here. I think too much stock gets put into this guy won an MVP over this guy, so he has 3, he has 1. This guy's automatically better. I don't agree with that with train of thought.
And my thing was like with Ticket, the impression I'm getting, Ticket. So if I'm wrong, please let me know. Is that if Giannis doesn't win it, it's like a huge slight to him and we're disrespecting him. And that's what I'm saying is it's not that important that because he's second or third that we're saying he stinks. He's still the best player in the NBA.
I'm saying yes, it is, because when we talk about NBA history, when we had these debates and we talk about where's the guy ranked, them MVPs matter. Because when we had them discussions in the top 10, top 5 all time, it's different if you have 4 or 5 MVPs versus 2. Because 3 of the MVPs you could have got, they didn't vote for you. If a guy has 5 MVPs, when you look back that on history, you having arguments, bro. This is big potatoes when you're talking about putting dudes in certain places. Some of these dudes got Steph Curry in the top 10 because he got 2 MVPs, a unanimous MVP, right? So if you got a guy like Giannis who may have a chance to end up with 4 or 5 MVPs, but we're robbing him of MVPs, bro. When it's time to rank him all time, man, that's taken away from his greatness and his true legacy and what he did. Now, we might remember that he was great, but when you had them all-time debates and you look at those dudes that was up there, them dudes was winning multiple MVPs. So when you have the debate when his career is over with, when you compare him to Tim Duncan, when you compare him to Hakeem Olajuwon, when you compare him to all these greats, the fact that he got robbed of multiple MVPs is going to hurt him when we have those all-time debates. I don't like that, especially with deserving.
People who know will look and say, hey, he had 3 second-place finishes, 5 third-place finishes. Because here's the problem with MVP, even with the media voting, is there are people who will vote. Shannon Sharp gets a vote, and he voted first place he's saying LeBron James. So you can't take it too seriously because there's dumb people like that. What is it, Bill Simmons or someone? I don't want to misquote the person who said he's putting Jalen Brunson. He's giving him an MVP vote. They're going to make dumb decisions. So you gotta look at it holistically. You can't just go on MVPs, and you know that. I see what you're saying. People are going to say, well, he only won 1, 2, whatever. But we're smarter than that. Respect.
Yo, Mars, you had your hand up. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Mars.
it's stuff like this is why I'm just speaking for myself here, not the out of basketball community. This is why I don't base my opinions when I'm ranking these players based on the accolades. It's because I can understand how good a player is, how good Giannis is, without mentioning the fact he has 2 MVPs. If I think Giannis is better than Kevin Garnett, I don't need to say it's because he has 2 MVPs. If I think Magic Johnson is better than Kobe Bryant, I don't need to say it's because of the 3 MVPs to 1. I don't need to say any of that, because people who actually take the time to watch these people play and understand the context of their career will know how good these guys are without having to bring up the fact that the media thought they were the MVP that year. We know that most people will say Giannis is the best player in the world. Him getting the MVP doesn't change that. All it does is it gives the casuals who don't take time to watch these guys to see what happened in the season and see, oh, Giannis was the MVP. I guess he was the best player in the world. But us guys who actually take the time to watch these guys,
do you think he's better? Do you think he's better, Mars?
I think Giannis is the best player in the world.
No. Do you think that Embiid is a better player than Giannis?
No, I think Giannis is the best player in the world.
Okay. Hey, Bron, put that back on the screen, because I want Chill to answer that shit. Answer that damn question right there, Chill. Answer that question, Chill.
Jay Will said, "Is Kobe top 10 if he has?"
Yeah.
No, Chilltown cares about the MVPs though. So
that's your ass right there, Chilltown.
It ain't my ass. No, it's not my ass. And you know why it's not my ass? Because I care about accolades. This is the accolades are a result of my production. I care about that stuff. And when you don't, and when a guy is doing more, or when a guy has done more, that stuff matters.
Stop rubbing your eyes. You want an Advil? You want to?
I do. I have a headache. Actually, I have a headache. I could use an Advil because Chill gives me a headache when he says this.
When I'm comparing guys, I don't just compare guys as basketball players. I don't do that because again, I've seen better basketball players get outplayed. Number one. Number two, when I watch a guy who has produced and this is the result of what he produced, that matters. I can't just go, yo, this guy is better at dribbling. This guy is better at rebounding. This guy is a better ball handler. This guy's a better shooter, and it looks good. Well, what did these things that he did, what did they produce? Well, it produced me being an all-league defender. Well, this produced me being an MVP. Well, this produced me being an all-NBA performer. That stuff matters to me because when I'm an all-pro, that means that I'm the best of the best, and my production produced me being an all-pro.
So then how do you have a guy who played 5 less years and has a Hall of Fame career more in accolades? How do you have him second?
Let's not do that. But I agree with everything you said. Your production does lead to you getting these accolades. I agree. There's no one who doesn't produce and wins an MVP or makes an all-defensive team, whatever. But the issue I have is that, yes, their production gets them that, but that's in the eyes of the people I don't care about. I don't care that Kendrick Perkins thinks Giannis is the MVP. That doesn't matter to me. If I think Giannis is the MVP, I'm going to say Giannis is my MVP. I don't care if he wins or not. Giannis to me is the MVP. I don't need other people's validation and their opinion to sway mine. And that's why I have an issue with these accolades. I think Jaden McDaniels is one of the best perimeter defenders in the game. I don't know if he's going to make an all-defensive team. I think he deserves it.
He should.
I think he deserves it. But if the people don't vote for him, does that mean that all of a sudden he's not as good of a defender as I said? No, I just think those people are wrong. I don't need to use the all-defensive team to validate my opinion because other people who maybe aren't watching as much as me or maybe don't see the game the same way view it differently. I don't need to care about what they think. That's why I don't really care about the accolades. Steve Nash has 2 MVPs and John Stockton doesn't have.
No, Don Boost. No, Don Boost. We're not on his nuts, as you would say. What we do is we just recognize a great player. That's what that is. So pay attention, goofball.
Chill. Who was the best defender last season? Mikal Bridges and Marcus, or the better defender? Mikal Bridges.
I'm glad you brought that up because I actually thought that Mikal Bridges. I thought that he was a better defender. The fact that Marcus Smart won it, and again, I think I know where you're going with it. It doesn't take away from the fact that Mikal Bridges was an awesome defender because I actually had Mikal Bridges as a better defender than Marcus Smart during that season. But the fact that Marcus Smart won the league, Marcus Smart won the Defensive Player of the Year, that doesn't take away from how awesome Mikal Bridges was as a defender.
Yeah, that's the point.
You have to understand how they vote, right?
Hold up. Go ahead. But that's the point, right? Somebody produced the DPOY, but you're acknowledging that somebody else who didn't is better.
And the history will say, like, if Mikal never wins one, the history will say, well, Marcus Smart must have been a better defender because he won the deep way,
which isn't true.
But people who watch them play will be like, well, wait a minute. Even though he didn't win the Defensive Player of the Year, we still know Marcus Smart wasn't as good of a defender as Mikal Bridges because of this. This is what he did. This is how good he was getting around screens or whatever the case may be. We don't need to use the accolades to talk about how good these people are, and I think that's what
that's the easy way, right? To look at Marcus Smart won the deep boy, but we know
anyone can do that. You don't need to,
right? The best.
I just don't want to discount it. That's the problem that I'm having. I don't want to discount accolades. I can't just go off of what a guy looks like. I can't do that. That's other stuff.
And to your point, I was not trying to discount accolades. I was trying to say I'll also include people who don't win them because, like, that's a perfect example. Depoy Bridges was a better defender, but Marcus Smart won.
Right.
It's okay. We don't disrespect Bridges. Thanks for bringing everybody to go.
Scottie Pippen doesn't even have a defensive player.
No, I'm sorry, but you discount Kobe's accolades. This man has the most All NBA defensive selections.
I don't discount him for a guard.
For a guard. He has so many All NBA teams. The man was a scoring champ, a 5-time champ, 2-time.
Cook his ass, dog.
5-time champ, 2-time Finals MVP, and he's not in the top 10. I don't get that.
He's at 11. So if I move him up to 10, if I just Elijah, I'm sorry. Let's say Shaq, you're at number 11. Kobe's at 12. You're at 11. Kobe's at 10. we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Do it.
People have an obsession with the number 10. 10 is a round number.
They do.
10 is a round number.
You know what you should do?
And Tone is nothing but an egger. I swear, Tone is nothing but an egger. That's all he does is egg. Make me sick with this garbage, yo. Y'all do. Y'all make me sick with this.
You care about the accolades.
I do care about the accolades.
This conversation is not going anywhere. We will be here every
we're out of
day.
time. Jeez.
Every day of the week from 9 Pacific time, noon Eastern. You guys can come here and we're going to have these type of debates all day, every day. But we got to move on. I got a lot of precious super chats that I must get to. Yep. Mystic Smitter said, what you guys' thoughts on the First Lady saying she wants both Iowa and LSU to come to the White House?
Blasphemous. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. We've never invited the loser to the White House. That's a joke.
No. That's all I'm going to say about that, Ron. No.
Everybody, maybe we shouldn't have a tournament. Maybe everybody should just play and not keep score. We give everybody a high five and a medal. Dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Y'all know who said both of them? LeBron James.
All right, so on to the next super chat. Michael Nooner said, I agree with Unc. Russ is going to attack. Put AD on him and he's blowing by him. Let's go, Russ.
How is he blowing by him if he's closing out? He's closing out to the paint. That's about as far as he's doing. There's nothing to blow by if he's not closing out. But thanks for the super chat.
Sports PSP said, who will be the best X factor for the playoffs?
Andrew Wiggins.
Wiggins is a good one.
Vanderbilt.
Y'all gonna be mad at me. Al Horford. Let's get
Dominican Dirk.
Dominican Dirk. Let's get right.
Bobby Portis.
Oh, that's
he
a
had
good
20
one.
rebound game last night.
That's a
Ticket,
good one.
you got one?
I don't know, man. I'm a call. Go ahead, man. I'm gonna skip this.
All right, so y'all got ticket worked up today. It's nasty out of y'all. Angie Carr said, what's with the Russ slander? On the field or on the hardwood, let Russ cook. Let's ride.
Yo. Let's ride, yo. No doubt.
Let him cook. Let's see how it goes.
They criticize that man more. They criticize him more for the game than they do for wearing skirts. That's the problem right there.
County, let's ride.
All right, y'all. Next super chat. Sixers are frauds tapped in and said, ticket. Do you trust the Sixers in the playoffs?
You already know the answer to that. Hell no.
And that's that. Angie Carr with another super chat. She said, nothing is for certain, but we've seen higher seeds lose to lower seeds, and momentum shifts happen in series from various factors, like injuries, playoff injuries. Experience has won more chips than any other factor.
That's
Does
a
experience
fact.
matter?
Yes, it does.
Yep.
Sure. That's why. If Sacramento had been in the playoffs last year and they lost in the second round, and they doing what they doing this year, where they going as the number 2 or the number 3 seed, we'd be talking about them way more in a more positive light than we're talking about them now. So yes,
just say it, Jay. That's why the beam's going to be out in the first round. They're turning that light off.
If they play the Warriors, they'll get through the first round. But carry on.
No, they're going to lose to the Lakers.
Probably.
Hattie Gaines has 2 teams for you guys to choose from. First team is De'Aaron Fox, Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, OG, and Bam. Second team is Luka, SGA, Mikal Bridges, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Robert Williams.
De'Aaron Fox team, because that team with Luka, Robert Williams will get hurt after the first 5 minutes of the game. We didn't see it.
And they're gonna play. And that De'Aaron Fox team, they're gonna play some defense with OG and Bam. They're gonna defend.
Yeah.
Assuming health, I'm taking the Luka SGA team.
I'm taking Fox. I think the versatility on defense with Bam, OG, JT, all of those guys isn't a bad defenders, so they're very versatile. So I'm gonna give it on them. And the scoring that they have with D Mitch, JT they're fine. They'll be great.
Yeah.
Sixers are frauds with another super chat. Said, why does Ticket hate Jokic?
I hate Jokic.
He doesn't play defense.
I don't hate Jokic. I don't hate nobody. I don't hate Floyd. I don't hate Chill. I don't hate Dub. I don't hate Mars. I don't hate Low. I don't hate anybody. I just cook. So y'all get mad when I cook his ass for not doing what he's supposed to do. Simple as that.
All right. Jay Will with another super chat said, why are MVPs such an important metric on the all-time rankings when it's clear the media and narratives influence it? It seems like a poor accolade to use in a debate given the clear inconsistencies.
It's always been something that's been there. The most valuable player has been like a banner.
Yeah, and not only that, I also feel like people who want to discount that stuff, and I don't mean you guys in particular, but I think people who want to discount that stuff are the people who their guy has nothing to do with that. Because if it was somebody that their guy was doing, that's the first thing that they would bring up.
And
I do hear that a lot because the first thing I said is I don't care about finals MVPs and people just.
Although there's inconsistencies, these are a group of people who are paid to watch basketball, and even though you might say this person or that person should have won, I can't remember a time when someone won that someone said, "Oh, that person shouldn't have even been in the conversation for MVP." So whether they were first, second, or third, they were in the debate. So I think that's why it does hold some value.
Right.
Godly.
Can you think of anyone that won that just wasn't even in the conversation?
I'm not as clued up on like late 60s as I'd like to be, but I have a hard
Well, that was
time
by the players. That wasn't by
I have a hard time believing Wes Unseld was an MVP caliber player.
Man, cut it out, Mars.
I second that. I have
a very everything I've watched of Wes Unseld.
Tell us about Wes
everything
Unseld.
I've watched of Wes Unseld. I have a hard time believing he was an MVP.
Weren't they
You two are the nasty boys. We know how y'all get.
Weren't they literally making fun of Wes Unseld in a playoff game?
Yeah, because he was undersized.
Was they making fun of him when he won a chip?
Just so you know, he won the MVP as a rook. Only Chamberlain, the only other dude to do.
And I agree, and I just don't think he deserved.
And understand the difference and how much better Baltimore got the year he got on the crew.
On the court, yep.
Just make sure we clear on how much better they got the year he got on the crew.
He was very impactful because he was like Bill Russell, but worse, kind of. He brought deep.
Hey, this is old school. This is old school hate.
How's that hate? I just said I don't think he deserved it.
You heard that? You heard that shit, Fluent. This is the old school hate.
Wait, so that's considered hate. That's considered hate.
Wilt, not Stilt, Hakeem, no Olajuwon, all this shit that these dudes push on this channel. Man.
I have Bill Russell number 4 all time. He started his career in 1957. What do you mean hate on the old school?
Yeah, man. I know what y'all do.
I don't hate on the. I give my opinion on some
y'all
of these
come on
players.
here with them titles. I don't cooking the OGs. I seen what y'all do. Moses, no Malone, all this shit y'all be doing. Y'all sad.
You wild for that one, Mars. That Moses Malone logic. Yes. You wild for that, Moses.
Moses Malone.
You nuts for that.
Fringe top 25 player. I don't see the problem.
You nuts for that.
Fringe top 25.
This is what y'all do.
You super wild for that, Mars. No question about that.
The worst player to win multiple MVPs.
Now
think about that for a second. The worst player to win it more than once. How do you?
Yeah, exactly. That was my point. That was my point. Exactly. That was my point.
To win something one time means you're a fraud. To win it 3 times.
That was my point. He's still great. He's the worst among a group of greats. That's why I said he's still great. He was just the worst amongst that all-time great group, and I said him and Steve Nash. That's fine, but other than that,
it sounds bad coming from you. It does. It just sounds bad coming from you.
If I was 60 and said that, it'd be fine. But...
Wait, hold on, wait.
Yeah, if you were 60, you would never say that because you would have seen Moses and you would have seen how good he was. And you would have talked about him in a different light.
They would have been, they would have been capped. They would have been capped. He would have been blinded by nostalgia. But
blinded by nostalgia.
Steve Nash being worse than Moses Malone is fine.
Moses and Kareem the work.
Not only did he give Kareem the work,
I never said Moses Malone was the worst MVP. I said he was the worst player with multiple. And
Dub is the same dude that said anything before the 70s don't count. I shouldn't even be listening to you, Dub.
I didn't even say that. I didn't
not
say that. I said
Steve Nash over Moses Malone all time.
I said to me.
Do you have Steve Nash over Moses Malone all time?
They're in like the same range.
I said when I am talking about.
Do you have Steve Nash over Moses Malone all time?
Let me see my list.
I gotta say this. So I said why I am talking about basketball, right? Just because there's not a lot of games where I could go off of and watch all the time. I think it's kind of hard for a lot of people to accurately depict what happened back before the 70s.
So hold on, Dub.
So it's hard for me to talk about it. If you want to talk about it, no, go ahead. That's on you. But I feel I didn't watch enough games to talk about that.
So you have Moses Malone over Steve Nash.
All time, yes.
So then Steve Nash is the worst multiple all-time MVP.
For me, difference between great is
the best. I think Nash narrative about old school basketball sucks.
This is the thing.
You just admitted it.
Let me explain. There's a difference between greatest and best. Moses Malone is above Nash all time because of longevity. I think Nash peaked higher than Moses Malone.
No,
Nash is best is better than Moses Malone is best. That's why I said
nuts to say that. I can't believe you said
that. Multiple time.
Do you understand? He averaged 25 and 14. You know what I'm saying? He averaged 25 and 14 for 8 years. Chamberlain and Jabbar, the only 2 guys to say that. Steve Nash did not have a better pick. I'm sorry, I'm yelling, but that makes
No,
me
he
nuts.
agrees. He has Moses over Nash.
No, see, I also said on the show, if someone said Nash is worse, I'm not gonna argue, but them two are the bottom two. So okay.
Woosa. We only got.
I'm not including Bob Pettit, by the way. I'm sorry. I'm just.
Let me ask y'all this: why come nobody talks about Kareem losing to the Golden State Warriors in the first round, and his team was a 60-win team, and that team was 47 wins?
Kareem losing to the Golden State Warriors. You mean that Golden State Warriors team that won the NBA championship? Is that who you talking about?
No, they lost. In 1973. They lost in the second round to the Lakers. You can try again.
They lost to the Lakers that year.
Yeah, you can
in
try
1973.
1973. They lost in the first round. It was upset. Kareem played bad against the Golden State Warriors, against Rick Barry, Nate Thurman, and the boys, and nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about that at all.
But meanwhile,
bad series and teams lose us all the time.
That was LeBron. Y'all were crucifying, bro. That's all I'm saying, bro.
Maybe people were crucifying Kareem in 1973.
They were. You know what? I thought about this, Mars. Who were people comparing MJ to? Was it Kareem or was it Wilt Chamberlain? It was Wilt Chamberlain. It was Wilt Chamberlain, bro. They said the greatest of all time.
I don't think Kareem was considered. I don't think Kareem was really considered the GOAT, though. I think that came.
Yeah,
later.
Kareem never really was. I can't remember a time when Kareem was said was the greatest NBA player of all time. Greatest basketball player.
Yeah, I think the whole legacy, like maybe, but I think
he was.
I'm from my knowledge, but I obviously wasn't around. But from my knowledge, it was Bill Russell and Wilt.
We never used.
It was MJ who came along, and then MJ was considered the greatest
back then.
When Jabbar won the Finals MVP at 38 years old in 1985, Pat Riley is on record saying he's the best to ever do it. What are we talking about here?
Why didn't they compare Kareem and MJ?
I just didn't think that was the consensus. From what I knew, it was Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain were like the standard.
They compare. Hold on. First of all, the comparison wasn't Jordan and Wilt, and if there was, that was because.
Hey, Ron, I know we scoring.
It was because of scoring. They were comparing their scoring.
No, they weren't. They literally said the greatest basketball player.
How do you know what happened 20 years before you were alive? I'm telling you the conversations we were having.
Damn, you're cooked.
The internet is a thing.
The internet. You're cooked. You're cooked.
You know how many people were talking about?
You're cooked. You're cooked.
Let's leave out.
Come on.
You're cooked. You're cooked, Dub.
These are lies. These are lies that the old media.
You're cooked, Dub. Move on. You're cooked. You're cooked.
Angie Carr said Chill and Ticket about to pull their belts out.
Boys, don't do that.
That man said Steve Nash peak. That man said Steve Nash peak higher than Moses, man. Boy.
Ticket, come on, man. Keep going.
1 minute left.
I'm saying, man.
Jose Primo said, "Don't say Ticket. Giannis can't win it every year."
I don't even know what that means. I don't.
Don't be sad, Ticket.
Don't be sad that Giannis can't win it every year. Yeah. He can.
Got you. James Robinson said, "Wouldn't you call the MVP award a team award? Because if your team is trash, no matter how great you did, if the team ain't winning, no MVPs."
You do have to win. You do have to win.
I think you have to be in the playoffs for the most part, but
yeah, for sure.
Lonnie Williams said, "We never thought Malone was better than Jordan,
even though he was in the conversation. It wasn't. Nobody really thought that. Nobody really thought Malone was better than Jordan
because he wasn't."
Hey, one quick question. Just one quick question. Do y'all think they should put a cap on you should be a top 2 seed to be able to win an MVP in your conference?
I think they should actually give a legitimate criteria.
Yo, fellas, we're going to have to come back tomorrow and answer that question.
Let's talk about that tomorrow because we have to get to open gym.
Same time tomorrow.
These guys can